You stole our country!
Developing now, Donald Trump just earned the 270 Electoral College votes needed to officially become president. It comes on a day of protest nationwide as demonstrators made a last-ditch effort to get electors to vote for anyone besides Trump. However, there were no widespread defections as most electors cast votes as expected. But here in Washington, those protests may have made an impact as electors did something they haven't done in decades. KOMO's Matt Markovich is live in Olympia with what they did. Matt?
Well, Mary, 4 of the state's 12 electors went against the majority of the people of the state of Washington and voted for somebody other than Hillary Clinton. Now, Clinton won the state 54% to 38% for Donald Trump. Now these 4 electors face for the first time a punishment, prosecution under the faithless voter law.
And before we start, I'd like to have a little blessing.
For years, it's just been a formality. Not this time. Just before the tribal blessing was played, several hundred anti-Trump protesters chanted on the Capitol steps.
If there was ever a time now to protect the country from somebody that's unfit, it's now.
For the 12 electors, all Democrats chosen at the party state convention, they're expected to cast 12 votes for Hillary Clinton, as required by the state's faithless elector law. It didn't happen that way.
I never asked for this. I never ran for it. I never held my hand up for it.
One elector said he was there on orders of his tribal elder. The only transgender elector was being challenged by an alternate for not being registered to vote under their new identity.
Just a few people in the party decided that they would substitute the male name Joshua Ivy for Riley Ivy.
Yeah, everybody just told me to ignore him because they said he didn't have any grounds to challenge anything.
The vote was taken, electors having to write down their choices for president and vice president.
Hillary Clinton received 8 votes, Colin Powell received 3 votes, and Faith Spotted Eagle received 1 vote.
Faith Spotted Eagle is a Native American fighting the Dakota Access Pipeline, got the vote from the elector who said he didn't want to be an elector.
Why are you shaking your head, brother? That is true.
Afterwards, it led to an argument with an elector who voted for Clinton.
No, you can't get elected unless you do that.
I never did. It never came back to me. I never still accepted it. You ask Patsy. You're a liar, Chris. F you.
As you can see, it was nothing but a usual day on the Capitol there. Now, Secretary of State Kim Wyman plans to seek some sort of prosecution under the state's Faithless Voter Act. It's eventually the decision by the Attorney General. Those 4 electors could face a fine of up to $1,000. Reporting live in Olympia, Matt Markovich, KOMO News.
Matt, thank you.
Electoral College and honored guests, I'm delighted to honor you or to welcome you to the beautiful state reception room at the state capitol for this grand occasion. It's been a very long and interesting political cycle this year in Washington and across the country. Today, we are here gathering the Electoral College as we mark the culmination of our voting for president and vice president. The vote here was 54-38 for Secretary Clinton. So that means 12 electors today who are Democrats were elected by their party peers at convention will actually elect the President of the United States. Many people are tuning into the whole idea of the Electoral College this year, possibly for the first time. Intuitively, many people may assume the popular vote winner is the one that gets elected, like we elect the governor or a U.S. senator. The founders decided on the Electoral College process, basically a winner-take-all by state. It was a compromise between Congress voting on the president and vice president by a popular vote by citizens. The Electoral College was established as another check and balance on the Constitution. It was designed by the founders to incentivize the smaller populated states to join and remain in the Union. The framers set up the Electoral College to ensure the minority was not overrun by the majority. It guarantees that smaller states are not overrun by the larger states in the election of the president and the vice president. It's much like the U.S. Senate balances and is a check against the House in our Congress. All states in the Senate are equal, regardless of population. In the Electoral College, each state gets electors equal to the number of U.S. senators and representatives. For Washington, that's currently 12. Today, electors are meeting at their state capitals across the country at high noon, just like we're doing, and it takes 270 electoral votes to elect our next president and vice president. Our electors will fill out their ballots for president and vice president. Each document, six copies of each document will be sent to Congress and to the state and national archives. President Joe Biden, as the President of the Senate, let me say that again, Vice President Joe Biden, as President of the Senate, will preside over a joint session of Congress on January 6th, where the votes of the Electoral College are counted, and the new president is inaugurated on January 20th. This is the 32nd gathering of the Washington Electoral College. Back in 1892, you may be interested to know, when the state was barely 3 years old, our votes went to Benjamin Harrison over Grover Cleveland. Think about that. This is kind of history repeating itself. Cleveland won the national election. We had 4 electoral votes that year. Harrison, who had signed our statehood papers, had been elected in 1888 by the Electoral College majority, but with Cleveland winning the majority of the popular votes. Sort of like today. So today we take part in a rich tradition that is as old as the Republic itself. It is now my honor to introduce our state's governor, Jay Inslee, to make some remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary Wyman. Today marks our state's final step in the presidential election as it is currently constituted, and I'm here to welcome you to the Capitol. I want to thank the electors for your service, and I want to thank everyone who's come to our state's Capitol today to be part of this process. So to our electors, thank you, and with that, I'd like to turn this back to Secretary Wyman.
That was impressive. Thank you. All right. And now I don't want to say that I'm having trouble staying on the script already, but I sort of forgot the most important thing we should start the meeting with. We'd like to lead everyone in the Pledge of Allegiance. So would you all please stand? All right. And please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For all. All right. All right. Now, in compliance with federal law, in front of you are the numbers of votes cast by the voters of the state of Washington. For each slate of electors for presidential and vice presidential candidates that appeared on the general election ballot. This certificate of ascertainment establishes that the Democratic Party candidates carried the state, and it is the Democratic Party's electors who should be present in the room today. I will now call the roll of electors. When you hear your name, please indicate by saying present. Elizabeth Caldwell.
Present.
Dan Carpita.
Here.
That's okay. That's okay. Peter Chilafalo. Oh, Peter, I apologize.
That's all right.
Say it again.
Shafalo.
Shafalo. I tried to make it too difficult.
Present.
Thank you. Levi Guerra.
Present.
Eric Hurdy.
Present.
Riley Ivy.
Present.
Esther John.
Present.
Julie Johnson.
Present.
Varisha Khan.
Present.
Chris Porter.
Present.
Robert Kayakam.
Here.
And Philip Tyler.
Present.
All right. We have no vacancies in the College of Electors today. The electors seated here are individuals named on the certificate of ascertainment. So now the electors must select from amongst themselves a chairperson to lead the college in the conduct and certification of the balloting for the offices of President and Vice President of the United States. Are there any nominations from the floor?
Nominate ourselves? Or I nominate myself?
Okay, we have a nomination for Riley. Ivy, sorry. Do I have any other nominations?
I think we've already ruled, man. We've already elected.
No, you need to do that here.
Nominate Julie Johnson.
I nominate Julie Johnson.
Okay, so we have a nomination for Julie Johnson.
I nominate Chris Porter.
We have a nomination for Chris Porter.
Brett Schiaffalo.
Schiaffalo?
That's me.
Okay, yes.
Peter.
Okay, any more, Peter, yes, any more nominations? Do we have any more nominations? Any more nominations? Okay, now I didn't actually take notes in this very formal, proper setting here. Just a moment.
Madam Secretary.
Yes. All right. Plurality, okay.
No, you need a majority.
Need a majority to elect the chair. Okay.
And these were the 3 nominations that I heard that we could repeat.
And we also had Riley.
Oh, Riley.
Okay, the nominations for chairman are closed, and the nominations for chair are Riley Ivy, I'm sorry, Riley. Peter, and now I'm just stressing too much, Schiaffalo, Chris Porter, and Julie Johnson. And for this vote, we need a plurality to select chairman. All right, so for each candidate, I will call the name, and please raise your hand, and then we will tally the votes. First, Riley Ivy. We have 1 vote. It says Brett here, and I can't read the writing. Peter Schiaffalo. We have 3 votes. 3 votes. Chris Porter. 1, 2. 2 votes. And Julie Johnson. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Julie Johnson. That's a 6. All right, so Julie's the chair. Okay, so now I'd like to invite the new chairman, Julie Johnson, to this.
Well, welcome everyone. It's so good to have all of you here, and thank you for voting for me. And I just feel that it's an honor for each one of us to be here. And first of all, I'm Julie Johnson. I'm a Lummi Indian. I'm the chair of the Native American Caucus Committee for the Washington State Democrats. And before we start, I'd like to have a little blessing. Would you be so kind, please? Now, where do I start? Right here? Okay. Thank you. Haishkasiyam, thank you, dear one. And now I ask my fellow electors to take out the ballots for the office of the President of the United States. The President of the United States. Please print your name and your choice for the President. Sign your name on the line below, and we'll collect them from you. Is this mine? Okay. The pen doesn't work. Okay. And now Heather and who's it? You got, okay. Here you go. Okay, all right. So these young ladies will count, and then they'll hand it to me, and then I'll double check it, okay?
Huh? Yeah.
Okay. Colin Power. Faith Spotted Eagle. Colin Power. Colin Power. Hillary Clinton. 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 Thank you. Okay, next. Please take your ballots out to vote for the Vice President of the United States. The Vice President of the United States. Write your name and the Vice President's name and sign it. Oh, you don't want me to do it? Oh, you do. Okay. After I'm all done. Okay. Okay. Are you done? Okay, you want to collect the ballots, please? I guess. Shall I give a speech while they're counting? Oh, well. I tell you, I cannot sing. I just want to just thank you for all of you for being here today, for being interested in supporting our government. I think it's so important. Are there any veterans in here? All the veterans, raise your hands. Okay, I'm going to say the names and we'll count them. Then we'll give an official report. The first one is for Elizabeth Warren, Susan Collins, Maria Cantwell, Winona LeDuc, Tim Kaine, 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 Tim Kaine. And now, would the young ladies tell me how many people voted for Hillary? Would you like to give, why don't you go ahead and give that report? Who is going to do that? Or you want to tally it up then, in case it didn't count?
Sure.
Okay.
So there should be 8 for Tim Kaine.
Okay, 8 for Tim Kaine.
1 for Elizabeth Warren.
1 for Elizabeth Warren.
1 for Susan Collins.
1 for Susan Collins.
1 for Maria Cantwell.
1 for Senator Maria Cantwell.
And 1 for Winona.
And 1 for Winona Duke. Okay? And
certificate of votes.
okay. Okay, we have 8 for Hillary. Here. 1 for Faith Spotted Eagle. Okay, I'll announce the rest when they get them tallied up, okay? And so now, so what will happen is the Secretary for the State of Washington will compile all of that and prepare it for mailing to Washington, D.C. And they have certain rules that have to be followed, so she'll follow all those rules. Won't you?
I will.
Okay. So, let's see, we've signed them all. So, I believe we followed every single rule and law there is to electing the next President of the United States. Okay. Okay, we have the minutes?
No, not quite yet.
Okay.
So we're still pausing.
So we announced. Now we pause, so we're going to take about a 5-minute break to make sure that all the votes are tallied. So you have about 5 minutes. Okay, you guys? Okay.
That's when you...
Thank you.
Oh, I've been doing all right.
Oh, we're just taking
well. Laying low.
No, we're not done. We're not done. You just have a break.
Support that way.
I told them they have a break.
And I heard
Okay.
there's a commotion going on back here, so I had to race back here. So I had to get a safe house before they until after the election or so, and kind of put it back together. You know, got no more friends, no people I know. You know, so I was like, it's weird. Adjusting. Wrong. Did you go to the DNC? I did. You didn't go there. No, I was in Yeah, that was a fine moment there, boy. That was like two roosters hanging in a donkey show, right? And nothing as crazy as that. That was just wrong. That was just wrong. How they treat American people in the same party like that, you know. So the snipers, you know, crosshairs of snipers like that, and the media tent, nothing getting out. It's like, you didn't stand by. What do you call when the cops are beating you up, you know? There we were like that. And it was just all wrong. You could have not played that game and said, you know, you just stay home, you save your $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 like that, you know. You had no business being there. This is going to be the Hillary show, you know. Of course, you know, if you're for her back there, you know, you couldn't get enough of it. It was just a drug, you know, the whole thing, you know. It'd been the same way if it was for Bernie. I probably couldn't get enough of all the whatever it was. You just don't do that. You don't draw lines. You know, these guys are the enemies. That's what we treat like crap, you know, and lie about it. On the way home that one day. Were you there? We drained that place. We literally drained that place. We walked out into the media tent. That's when we were under there. We walked out in front of the Wells Fargo and everything, everything like this. Yeah, so it's like, excuse me, because I want to talk to my wife.
How many we got for each one. So it turns out we have a lot of people.
I know it.
So we're going to give you a certificate, a election certificate, after we're done preparing it, and you can read it.
Okay.
Okay? Normally there's only one of each, right?
Okay.
So we're going to give you a certificate. You can look at it and read from that.
All right.
But there's some question about that because we skipped the tally part here.
I know it. I thought when I was reading it out loud, I thought I was doing that. So, well, let me get everyone back together.
I have a question from the media. So I thought I heard 8.
We're going to give the tally. Yeah, I think it's 8. Okay, everybody, let's get back together. Okay, break time is over.
We have a lot to do.
And we have a lot to do. I'm going to ask each one of the electors while we're still tallying the votes to say a few words. So I'm going to go around the table and I'm going to give you 30 seconds to 45 seconds and maybe a minute to say why you ran as electoral, you know, what your commitment is, and how you feel about today, whatever you want to say. But just don't give a long speech, okay? Okay. So, pardon? So I'm going to start at this end of the table. So I want you to introduce yourself, say what district you're from, who you're representing, your name.
Of course I get to do the testimony.
And that's because she's so pretty, right? Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
All right.
My name is Levi Guerin. I am the elector from the 4th Congressional District. I would like to take a moment to thank all of you guys for attending today. But most importantly, I would like to point out how many people are here and how amazing that is. For the first time in a long time, we have people sitting down and paying attention to the Electoral College. We're having people sitting down, questioning the process and going out and learning. I ask those who are here today and those who are watching and those who are listening, do not forget this. Continue learning. Continue going out and educating yourself on our policies and how the Electoral College is run, and go out and learn more about how every part of our government is run. Do not forget this, and don't let the momentum that we have here today die. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Chris Porter. I'm the elector from the 7th Congressional District. In 2008, I sat in this very room as an alternate elector. There were 12 people in the gallery, and I think 10 of which were alternates. This is democracy in action. I've never had so many people ask me, what's with this Electoral College? How did this thing come about? Is this something new? And I'm just further energized by the attention that it's getting, the return to, I think, a greater citizenship and understanding how our government works. I love this democracy in action, and it is incumbent upon each and every one of us to keep it going. We just can't stop today because it goes on.
Thank you.
Hello, my name is Eric Hurdy. I am the elector elected from the 10th Congressional District, and I would really like to be able to say in the future that I was part of the last Electoral College that did anything relevant.
Robert?
Good afternoon. My name is Robert Sataik. I'm an elector from the 10th Congressional District, delegate. I never asked. Never asked for this. I never ran for it. I never held my hand up for it. Never stood in line for it. Never accepted the nomination. Never gave a speech for it. Yeah, where is democracy, you know? So anyway, I was elected to do this, like I was elected to be the delegate. I did that job, fulfilled it, and I'm fulfilling my responsibility and what I was elected to do here today in a good way. I want to thank the woman who nominated me, my beautiful elder, Patsy Whitefoot. Mm-hmm. I asked her, why did you do this to me? She said, because of who you are, because of how you carry yourself, how you ceremony, because your mettle, your character, your content, and your integrity. Oh. That's why I nominated you, son. That's why I nominated you. So do a good job in a good way. So I'm trying to do that here today in a good way. Oh, thank you for allowing me to say a few good words today. Oh.
Thank you, Robert.
So my name is Elizabeth Caldwell. I'm a lifelong Washington resident. As you can see from my bald head, I have cancer. It's terminal. I'm not likely to see the next presidential election. And so I wanted to be here to be part of history. I'm proud to cast my vote for the first woman to receive presidential elector votes, Hillary Clinton. I believe that America is ready for a woman president, and I believe that Hillary is somebody who cares deeply. She met a friend of mine who has the same kind of cancer as me, and she sat down with my friend, Hillary sat down with my friend and talked to her for an hour about cancer policy, about ways to help keep me and my friends alive. And that's something that I don't see Donald Trump doing. So I'm proud to be here to cast my vote as a Democrat. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Varisha Khan. I am the elector from the 1st Congressional District of Washington State. I am a journalism and political science student at the University of Washington. And my drive to become an elector came from my parents, who taught me the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him's teaching, which is that both women and men should pursue high levels of education and give back to society. And based on that teaching, that Islamic teaching, I ran to become an elector. And I sit here today representative of American Muslims who have been severely impacted by this election and who do have hopes and dreams for the betterment of our future. And so if there's one thing that I could say to American Muslim children that are sitting at home, it's that you can have an impact. It's that when you get involved and when you stand up for your rights, you can have an impact. And that goes for so many people that have been impacted by this election. And I think that it's our responsibility now going forward to make sure that we do everything we possibly can to make sure that America is great. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Riley Ivey. I am from the 3rd Congressional District. I was elected at the Congressional District Caucus. And I believe I'm the first transgender elector in the country. I might be the second, but I ran for election as an elector totally on a whim. I heard it was an option to run at the caucus, so I ran. The runner-up, he got alternate, and he tried to get lawyers involved to get me to back down from being an elector. It was kind of crazy, really. Yeah. But I'm glad to be here today. I almost wasn't here today. My train was over an hour late getting into the station.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I can't speak 1 minute. I can't even introduce myself in a minute. My name is Dan Carpita. My friends and family call me Little Dan. I'm the son of Dan and Marvelyn, the grandson of Ed and Iris, the grandson of Caesar and Mary. And I bring you greetings from the Lemhi people of southwestern Montana. I rose to accept the nomination as elector from the 8th Congressional District, and I said these words: this is a historical moment for me. I get to vote for the first woman president. I get to vote for the change that Bernie represents, and I get to vote on the last electoral college in this nation. Many people have said that we're faced with a disaster. I want to challenge everyone in this room that we're faced with an opportunity. Just like one drop of water has not much power, but you put this many drops of water together and you make a river. There's no river that a dam can stop if it stays in motion. The motion we start here today must continue, and nobody can dam our progress. So please stay engaged. Please show this is what makes America great. Each of you make America great. Money doesn't make America great. You make America great. Please stay that way.
My name's Peter Brett Shafalo. I'm the elector for the 2nd Congressional District of Washington State and the co-founder of Hamilton Electors. I've made it my goal since starting to run for elector in the 2nd CD caucus to try to educate as many Americans and as many other electors about their rights and even responsibilities under the Constitution. And because of all the support I've gotten across the country, I feel like we've been very successful. And I hope everybody out there, just as a few of the other electors said, keeps learning about the system. The first key of being a citizen is understanding how your government works, how your leaders are elected. It is crucial, and we need to keep this going after this. And just like a lot of other people said, the one promise I made to my constituency when I ran is that I would utilize the bully pulpit coming out of it to come out against the Electoral College. And I do plan on continuing that fight after today.
Thank you.
My name is Esther John. My friends call me Dove.
and I'd like to salute everyone here and my fellow electors. Thank you all for being here. But I'd also like to salute my sister, who is who is my fellow elector from the 9th Congressional District. Laura Sabin is here. And so Deborah Sabin is here. And so I would like to, in the spirit of reconciliation, to salute Republicans who have come here today. Even though it's a choice by Democratic electors, I'd like to salute you for being involved in the democratic process. I learned that the Electoral College was the body that